Good morning, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. We want to give a shout out to everyone watching live and on the replay. We want to give a shout out to my friend and partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. Today, we're going to be talking with Coach Caren all about a topic that everyone needs to know more about. We can never do enough of this. And so I recommend that you sit back, relax, get a pen and paper, and take in some important information that could change your life, change the profits in your business, and change your lifestyle. So, with that, we're going to introduce to some, present to others, Coach Caren Fern, your life strategist and guide through the process. How you doing this morning, Coach?
I am well. I'm well.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Oh my gracious! It is just so
Yes,
good to be in the house.
it is. It is.
Yes, and to know that you're here to help us with some upcoming things. You want to tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today?
So today we'll be talking about continue planning for 2023, and we're going to cover what do I want to happen differently for 2023 on a
Mm.
whole, like personal and business, and how do I have, like, who do I have to become, for this to happen?
Oh,
And what do I have to give up to attain this outcome? Because it's you, whatever you get, you're going to give up something. And
uh-huh.
I really want you to just, you don't have to love it, but you got to accept this idea. Because when you don't accept the idea, you fight against the idea, and then nothing gets done.
Oh my goodness.
You
Okay.
know,
I just hadn't thought of it that way.
when you fight against the idea, you don't get anything done. I was fortunately to be able to teach grade 1 and 2 for roughly a year and some way back in my teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest things from the teacher I took over from with those kids were understanding, we're giving them the understanding of how well they can do for that semester
Mm-hmm.
versus not do. And I approach it a little different from the teacher, from the previous teacher. And that was simply because I was looking after what I really love and enjoyed as a student. And I wanted to give the kids that I was teaching that semester the opportunity to see good in themselves. And I had
Mm-hmm.
everybody stand up and tell me what it is they truly want to do. And there's kids that I just want to play all day. And there were kids who just said, I didn't want to do anything. I don't want to come to school. And then I went into the why. And
Mm-hmm.
we spent about 3 days just analyzing the kids, at least I did, and getting a feel of what the kids really wanted in that class and how I could serve it up to them in a way that they'll still learn, but get most of what they want. Now, I also let them know they're gonna have to give up some things. So if they play all day, they're not gonna get to grade 2, you know. And everybody says, well, we don't want that because mommy's not gonna be happy. So they understood they needed to get to grade 2,
Okay.
first of all. And when you're in the classroom, if you talk all day to your friends, you're not gonna hear anything because you're busy talking, so you can't listen because you can't do both together. And they're like, yes. We those kids, and they're agreeing, and sometimes they're disagreeing. But by the third day, everybody understood what we're going to be doing, because instead of just coming in and teaching, and in those days we say our prayers and a whole bunch of things had to happen before class start, we really spend a lot of time honoring down on what they're going to learn and why they're going to learn it. And I
Okay.
found that helped the kids so tremendously versus just jumping in and teaching whatever the curriculum was at the time, because they're looking after self. They're realizing that everything that they're going to take in for that semester is just about getting themselves better and feeling better and growing better. And we had a really good class.
Mm. Wow.
Because I'm setting this motion up. And so that's what you got to look at planning for. You're setting up yourself for success, for great things. You're setting up yourself to do well in life, for personally and for your business. They go hand in hand. If you are having a rough time at home, even if you put on a brave face and you're looking good outside, somebody somewhere is going to start picking up on it. And eventually your energy is going to get dropped. It's going to get
Mm,
full. And even
yes.
if you don't realize it's going to happen, you have to sit you down and say, hey, how can I be here at this moment? If you're having a hard time, because everybody has hard time in different parts of their lives. And one of the things I knew I had to sit down and say to myself when I was going through a hard time at different spots is, hey, Caren, how could you be here right now in this situation and still thrive over here? Like what is it you got to give up? So you got to give up control of wanting everything to go great. You have to give up control of hoping that you have only peace, and you have to give up the idea that this person is going to do what you want to do.
Okay.
Give up that idea. What you're going to do is look after you and where you want to go and where you have to be. And if it's a cantankerous person, and I've had those in my life, decide if you want to have that argument or not, or decide if you're going to have it out with them and then say that's it. Because sometimes we are so afraid to realize that you can have a confrontation with somebody who really is irritating to you and frustrates you. And then
Hmm.
once you finish with it, you, not them, need to get past it. So whatever else come from them afterwards doesn't affect you because you have gotten past it. And so their words are not as hurtful. I'm not saying you're not going to
Oh,
feel hurt, but it's not as hurtful because you have said, I'm finished with this conversation. I'm finished with this situation. You can't
okay.
hurt me anymore. And it's consistently, for some people, it takes longer than others. And I go back to my stickies. If you're not a person that can get it like that, then put it on the wall, look at it, continue saying it, hang it up, put it wherever you need to have it so that this is part of what you do and say and become so that you can do this other thing. All right. So it might feel like you're giving up a lot of time creating this situation, but it's for your own benefit. So sit down and do it.
Well, okay. Get to it, guys.
Yeah. So whatever happened this year, what do you want to happen differently? And it didn't matter how great this year was. God got so much greater things for you to do and accomplish that you want something different to happen next year. Don't get
Mm.
too comfortable. I was telling my sister that yesterday. I'm like, it's okay to feel great and celebrate in a space, but don't get too comfortable that you give up on the other things you want to do. Don't make what happening and coming into you now. I said that in my money principles. Like, make sure you're still looking forward to what else is going to happen. Because the minute you're doing and you're comfortable, you're not helping anybody anymore because you're just looking after yourself now. But you don't realize it because you're just in your comfort zone. Nothing
Mm.
is wrong with it. I want to be clear about that. Nothing is wrong with it. It's just that there's other things to be done. Get to it. Your mind will encourage you to do it. Get to it. Because you
That's
don't
good.
know who you're going to help when you get to it. It's always
Yes.
about who you're going to help when you get to it. You just never know who you're going to help when you get to it. So what do you want to happen differently for 2023? Write those things down. Get them sorted out. Don't trust it in your mind. Get it out of your mind and put it on paper. Put it in the computer if you like storing on Google Docs. If you're in Notions, there's just a software. You get in there and you can just do stuff with it. I don't have much stuff in Notions right now, but I'm planning to get in Asana, Trello, any one of those things that you can go in and just put the stuff down. I'm going to share a screen in a bit about that and just get in there and just write down the things that you know that you want to do and look at it daily. Look at it, consistently. One of the things I have my clients do is look at their bank accounts daily. If they have debt, set up something in Excel where they're checking in on their debt, not because you want to keep looking at it, but if you got a timeline, if you know you're going to pay, if you know you owe $200, let me just say this, you owe $200, right? And you want to get it paid off before 2023. Don't just keep saying, I'm going to get it paid off. Set up a system. Say, I'm going to pay $40, you know, 5 times and I'm going to get it paid off. And I want to put it in
Mm.
an Excel spreadsheet and the dates you're going to pay it off. And when it happened, check yourself a nice star saying I paid it 40. I paid the other 40. Next thing you know, you finish paying the $200. And that's just a recipe of
An
a simple
example. Uh-huh.
example that you can get done. So no, that's not sitting on your brain. I owe $200. I owe, you're clearing that off. You're going in fresh into 2023. You're getting yourself prepared for the things you want to do.
So let me see if I understand that because that's such a basic process. You decide, okay, I want to accomplish this, and then underneath it, you have the different things you're going to do to make that happen. And
Yes.
then and some dates beside those
Yes.
things.
Yes. Yes.
And once those things happen according to the charted dates, eventually you get to completion
Yes.
and you get to celebrate.
Yes.
Cool. Got it.
Yes.
Got
Yes.
it. Good
Yes.
morning. Welcome to the conversation. Yes.
Good morning.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
and I think we complicate planning.
Way too much.
We really do. We think we have to have all of these graphs and um, 20-page business plans and uh, thousands of people on our team or thousands of customers, when in fact all we may need is really 10 or 12 really good customers,
Hmm.
repeat customers.
Yes.
And I think we just
Yep.
we overthink. We do a lot of thinking. We need to do less thinking and more doing.
And more doing and more doing. For Thanksgiving, a couple weeks ago, one of the things I did, my mom always laughed at me. She's like, Karen, you anytime she see me go in the kitchen, a list gets sticks on the fridge. I stick a list on the fridge and I get to town in what I'm gonna do. And she says, oh, you're your list again, eh? I
Very
said,
good.
yes, I love my list. And
Mhm.
also, I love breaking things down. There's the other thing. Sometimes the reason you don't want to do anything, you procrastinate, is because in your mind you keep saying, how long this thing's going to take me to do? You don't want to do it. But if you were to write it down and really go through how long it takes, it doesn't take as long, but you are afraid of the steps. And I did
Mhm.
this for myself. I wrote the steps down to making bread. It takes 9 steps to make bread. But the steps are so little and tiny, like 2 seconds here, 3 seconds there, but it's still, was 9 steps. I wrote down how long it take me to cut up my veggies and what have you, put on a timer. I was just timing myself on things because when I talk about stuff, I actually want to have this actuality, what I'm talking about, and I'm not pulling it out of the sky.
Mhm.
So I got in there and I wrote it down, all the list, the master list of what I have to do. And then I took each thing and I took it apart, how long it's going to take, what is going to take me to get it done, and the timeline. When I do this, well, just for me, my mind is at ease. I know it's going to take me 2 or 4 hours, depending on the stuff that I have to do. I know if I need to break it out within 2 days, or I could do it within
Mm.
a day. And then I am not panicking in my head. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I just do it. I get in the kitchen and I said, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to bake a cake. I am going to cut up vegetables, prep for the Sunday Thanksgiving. I am going to bake bread. This is the session. My mom is going to do the mac and cheese. When I help you, I'm not touching that, but here's what I'm going to do. And I get to her and I'm like, Mom, I'm done. Now it's your turn. She's like, you're done already? Like, you're out of the kitchen? I'm like, yes, because I get in there and I do what I got to do. And that's how you have to see your life. You get in there, 2023 is coming. You can't do anything about it. You can't hold it back. And you want your business to shine. Instead of a year, you've got 14 months for it to do great things. So look at it this way. If you were to plan everything this month, and you still got another week, you have got 40 months to do whatever it is you want to do and see success in it. You want to get in there and grind with it. I always plan every year, so I'm in the planning as I speak to you. But I went and do 40 this year, which means I'm in my Excel spreadsheet and I'm in there saying, if I'm going to do social media, I literally would write content creation, and under the content creation, which social channel I'm attacking, what content I want to do per week, what graphics I want to go with it, and then every steps that it takes me. Where I'm going to get that information from, online, on the road, go meet people, like all these different things I'm thinking about. And then I have them in this master list, and then I separate them. And then the next page, I got like 3 pages on this subject. And the next page is where the money comes in. So there's a master list, then there's the breakdown, and then there's the money section, because I want money to go along with it. This is a business I run. Don't just do those things and make you feel nice, warm, and fuzzy inside, and then hide away from the money. Like the money, how much clients I need to get, how much average the client is going to pay me. Once they pay me, what is my take out of that? What is my tithes and saving out of that? What profit the business getting out of that? All of these are columns that's written down there, and the dates I expect this to happen, and how I'm going to go about it, and what am I going to do. And there's a column on my notes for results and why it didn't happen. So I'm keeping myself accountable. Yes, I go this big because it really forces me also when I'm teaching to explain to my students that this is possible. This is not a pie in the sky. This is really possible. If you put in this time, that's what's going to happen. If you have a job and you're a sales rep, you're going to be calling, let's say you're calling 1,000 people this month. And you have to decide how often you're going to call them, what's going to happen. You're going to be doing a lot of research. You're going to do that for a company. You need to do the same thing for your business. And you need to set these stuff, set these up, set this big picture up so that now when you start your year and you're gonna work this, you're not coming in trying to think, what am I gonna do today? No, you've got your list every single day. This is what I'm coming in to do. And I would hope in that list, it has to have some kind of sales and marketing happening. So your brain is getting used to selling and marketing, because that's how you grow your business. That's how you get your cash flow. That's how you're profitable. Okay.
I'm listening. I have this leaf blower going. And so I'm listening like this because he is right at my window, but he's moving on. Yeah, and I'm just fascinated by all these columns. To me, that's just, it just makes sense, but I never thought of organizing it that way.
Because I organize a lot in my head, and I recognize that I used to organize on paper, I used to organize in my head, and now I've got Excel. Why am I not putting in there, especially because of what I want to teach in February, this big program? I really want people to see how the money comes in and it flows, because I have a client who says, well, I get the money. She literally comes and said, Caren, well, the business is doing great, but what do I do with the money? And I said, well, I had sent you this stuff, but she never opened it. So she's like, holy crap. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy when not only I see benefit in what I decide to create, but somebody else fit in it, and they're like, this is what's happening. I find her debt, this is her 4th month in debt repayment, and she's on the ball. She even pays some extra money into the debt repayment, and all because she's been following the schedule and being able to celebrate when she complete a payment, and she had room. I put room in there for when she want to add an extra $200 or whatever when the business allows it, and it's been allowing it. She's even got overtime at work, so she's been able to crash a full debt out of the way. She says, Caren, that money would have just gone into I don't know where, and I wouldn't have noticed what happened to the money because I was following the money. Now she knows, I am really paying myself. She even hired an assistant, and she was debating if she could. She's got somebody working with her right now because she's able to pay herself, buy back the material, and see a profit, a business profit. This is important to see and understand that it is feasible, it is doable. You just have to have yourself understand where these things go. This is just simple guidelines. It's not even bookkeeping. This is just you understanding how your business run, what happened. And can you imagine if you know this sort of stuff and then you pass it to your bookkeeper or your tax preparer when it's time to pass what they need? You're going to be so happy. You're not going to be panicking. You know what's going on.
Wow. That's a blessing. That is a blessing to be able to turn over something that is timely and also organized.
Yes.
Because when you pass it over, it's organized in your mind too. So your mind is at rest.
Yes. You are not panicking. When I first started to, this accountant I have now for 28 years, tax repair, what have you. And when I first got it and he came and I had the things organized to give to him, he said, okay, so I'm going to need this, this, and that. I said, oh, so you mean this? And I had all the... I had our gas, hydro, and thing, not only the bills, but I had it calculated and ready to go, student loan stuff and everything ready to go, and the totals, like I give him the totals and stuff. And he goes, hold on. So I said, well, I want to make life good for you. So you just get them and you go. He goes, I tell you, I just want to stay right here. And I want you to call all my clients and tell them what to get me ready.
There you go.
I said because I wanted to make life easy for you. Wanted to get everything. I don't want to be scrambling when he came and picked it up because he came, house to house in those days and just pick up all our stuff and what happened. This is 28 years ago, and he would just come pick up the stuff and he would go house to house. He's a small business owner, so this is how he was building his business. Doing home service, and he would just come in, do your taxes, tell you your return or not, and then move on to the other client. And we became good friends because he would always let me say, Karen, you got things organized. As my kids became teenagers, at the end of the year or January, I'd have them come in and help us go through all the year bills, categorize it. And they said, Mom, this is boring. Why do I have to do this? I said, well, when you turn an adult, these are the things you're going to do. So you're learning a skill. Get them categorized. All the receipts we had during the year, I'll have them put them
Mhm.
together. I'll let them see how much it costs us to run this household and why when we ask you to do certain things, it's because it costs us this money. And, bring a lot of realization to them. They're like, Mom, I didn't realize it costs so much, or you spend
Mm.
so much doing this and that. So I wasn't just giving them the bill, but I was giving them a chore to do so that they can see where things go and allow them to observe on their own and then ask questions. And then
Mhm.
I'll have a chat with them about it. Like, yeah, so this is what Dad and I asked you to pay this kind of bill. You went to piano lessons. It's not like I'm telling you can't go, but I'm telling you if you don't practice, this is how much it costs us to send you there weekly. And when you need extra classes, I pay extra for this. This is what happens. And it's good to have these conversations with your kids, not in a punishing, oh my God, I got to pay for this way, but just in a information sort of way.
Yes, it is. Um, and I think that because the conversation revolves around what they want to do,
Hmm.
um, they're more engaged in the
Yes,
conversation
yes,
as
yeah,
opposed to turn out the lights,
yeah,
turn out the
yeah,
heat,
yeah, yeah.
close that window. We
Yeah,
can't.
and you're right. I never have to say that they on it. They're like, Mom, why you leave the light on? Like up to this day, like first to Mom, no, leave the kitchen light on. Like there's nobody's in the kitchen. I'm like, it's okay. He's like, no, it's not okay. Yeah, you don't have to tell them. They're really on par with
Be-
it. I forgot about that lesson. I just talking and remember that.
Yeah,
They're really aware.
because it's been building up over the course of their lifetime. You've been
Hmm.
training them up
Yeah.
to notice these things and to be accountable for them.
Yes. 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 Each,
Wow.
each each kid would pull up another one if they're just wasting, or they'll tell me like, you're just wasting it for no reason. Like if you didn't want it, you just shouldn't have it. Like Mom spent a couple of hundreds on the grocery. There's no need for that. Just don't eat it. Don't
Mhm.
waste the food. Not in Africa don't have food kind of way. Just don't
Exactly.
waste the food.
Please stop with the guilt trip.
Right? I
We
don't
just,
like that. I don't like the guilt trip nonsense. Just
yeah, can we just be better stewards over
yeah,
what we've been blessed with? Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And the next question was, how do you have, like, who do you have to become to make this to happen? And it's
Mhm.
really preparing your mind, heart, body, and soul of who you want to become. You hear it every day. If you want something, dress for the occasion. Get
Mhm.
yourself prepared to be this place you want to be. I remember the story of an anchor. Excuse me. We had not a producer. I can't remember what she did at the TV station, but that's what she went to school and study journalism and broadcast. And she said she so wanted to get there, and jobs were just so scarce for her to get an opportunity. And she
Mhm.
said, she's telling her mom, and her mom said to her, girl, that's why I taught you girls to sew. You can, because she didn't have money. She owed student loan, didn't come from a family who paid for her education or anything. And so she's trying to figure out what to do. And her mom says, get yourself ready for work then. Like, what are you doing daily? And she said, she had a little change and she went to the fabric store and she got some fabric to make white shirts and black pants. Because she
Mhm.
realized that if she had a uniform, then she don't have to get a lot of clothes. And she and her mom talked about it. So she got 3 white shirts and 2 pants. And she said she made them. And she said she sent out resumes and she'd go for interviews. But she'll get herself dressed. The minute she made the first one, she'll get herself dressed in the morning and she'll do all that she has to do, and then she'll change into regular clothes and get to the sewing machine. And she said without a doubt in a month she was employed. Now she didn't get the job she wanted right away, but she would show up to work dressed in this black and white outfit and at the TV station, but she's doing coffee and different little things, and people say to her, we just love how you come in looking ready for work every morning. Like people just compliment her, and she's like, "You guys have to thank my mom," and she would chat at them. And as soon as, of course, when a position was open, she got it. And she said for the first 5 years, she made all her clothes, went to work on time, do what she got
Mhm.
to do. Never bought anything outside because she wanted to A, clear off her student loan, and B, she wanted, she had plans and things she wanted to do. Now that's a
Mhm.
person who's setting themselves up for success. And I promise you, she's living into what she want to be, where she want to see. And you need to do that. If you want your business to do great, you really got to get up and stand up there and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to start a clothing brand and then go research all the things you need and get them into your planning and get them done. And if you're saying that I have no money, don't worry about that. You put the number you want down and you work. And I promise you, everything will line up so that you'll get the money. You gotta believe though. You're gonna have to show faith because people talk about faith, but you're gonna have to really get in there and perform as though and watch it happen every single time. For the people say, well, it doesn't happen until you're not working at the full capacity. That's why it's
Mm.
not happening. I promise you, when you fully focus, because I have tested out when I half-ass things and when I focus. Just for the
Yeah.
purpose. Okay. I want to do this, but man, it's too much work. I don't think I want to do it. And then what happened? I get the results just as what I performed. But when I'm at my full focus and I said, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to get myself there. Listen, right now I'm just doing 15 minutes workout per day and I still get dressed in my workout outfit. I don't just wear whatever. I wear my tights, my sports bra, and my workout top, and I do my sit-up, push-ups, whatever I'm doing for that segment.
Mhm. Just as
Because
though it's just as though you were going out to the gym.
yes, yes. And I
Mhm.
do it from home. I make sure of it because it keeps my mind get into mood. I'm not playing around. Nobody can come talk to me. This is not a social call. This is me working out.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
get it done. I don't get distracted and I do it. And my sisters would say, well, Karen, because you're disciplined and that's why it's easy for you. No, it's not easy. I don't want to work out some mornings. I don't want to do it. But I've decided that's the life I want to live and I want to feel healthy and good in my body. So I do it every 6 days a week
You
because
know, I have decided that that the walk that I take for 3 to 5 miles
Mhm.
is my medicine.
Yes,
So instead of medicating myself, I take the walk.
right.
And so when I have that conversation about I don't want to do it,
Which we all do at times.
yes we do, then I think about the alternative.
Yes.
You know, you're gonna take this walk or you're gonna go by the pharmacy. What you gonna do?
I like that idea. I like that
You
idea.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Because it really is true. It's one or the other. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're gonna go to pharmacy.
You're gonna pay somebody.
Yes.
It's what-
So you see, you do have to give up to get what you want, right?
exactly,
And it's
exactly.
not a bad thing.
It's either gonna be time or money.
Uh-huh.
Right. When the time,
Yes.
working out or
Yes.
and I don't do a heavy workout. I just take a walk every day.
Whatever it is you're going to do, if you keep doing it. I had a girl that came to work for me and she said to me, this woman was tiny. And she said, Karen, I used to be 300 pounds. And I'm like, what? She said, I walked it all off. She said, I
Mm,
went to this doctor and he said to me, he said, do you want to spend time fixing yourself or do you want to get medication? And she said she was thinking, this guy is crazy. Why would you ask me such a question? And he said, because you're pre-diabetic and you're gonna be. It's not gonna take you long to get there. And
mm,
she said, so
mhm.
what should I do? He said, I want you to walk every day. Every day. In your condition, you need to walk 7 days a week. And I don't want you to walk far initially, but I want you to increase as you lose the weight. And then I want you to think about the things you eat and what you know that you're eating too much of. And I want you to stop it. And then I want you to come see me back in 2 months. And she said, she got back to him in 2 months and she said, but I didn't do much. Like I walked, but I don't think anything much happened. And she got on the scale and she said, lo and
Mhm.
behold, she lost 25 pounds.
What?
And she said, that was her. She says, he says, yes. You watch what you were eating, you stop eating whatever that wasn't good for you. And I didn't have to tell you, you knew it. He says, and that was a biggie. And then you listened and you walked. And I know you were upset initially when you walked, but once you got into it and you start being upset with me, you allow. And when I met Mary, Mary was so tiny, I just couldn't believe it. When she told me how much pounds she had, she said, I walked it off. I changed so many things about myself. She said, I didn't
Wow.
like me. I speak a lot of negativity on me. I used to talk a lot of bad things about myself. And she said, slowly but surely, I couldn't say those things about me anymore because I wasn't that person anymore. I changed. So I had to find new things to say about me. And when she came for the job, she wasn't a good candidate for the job, but we stayed friends because she was able to say, this is who I am. And she'd see the negative coming back and she'll say, oh, I can't say that word. She said, I'm willing to learn. Because the first thing she wanted to say, I don't know how. And then she'll say, oh, no, I'm willing to learn. And then when she didn't know certain things, she'll say, I don't think I can really do that. But maybe it'll take a little longer. So I had her for a little bit, but she wasn't suited for the Pacific position. And we agreed upon it. But we would still see each other anywhere because she's living in my area and we would say hi and what have you. And so that's where you have to really see for yourself on this planning journey. You got to find out what it is you need and want, how you're going to show up differently, and understand you're going to give up something for something better. And as Terry says, you either pay with money or time.
Something's got to give.
Right? Something's got to
give. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Coach. I never thought of planning as showing up differently. I never thought of planning as, having to make these different columns, and it just makes sense to me. I don't know why that illustration sticks in my mind, but it does. And I just want to thank you for your time and for making it so clear that we can get the job done.
Yes, that's my mission.
So, guys, we don't necessarily need a bunch of formulas and flip charts and we just need to write the goal down, figure out some steps and some time, put it on a timeline, and get on with it.
Yes.
Now, it's my understanding next week we're going to be continuing to talk about planning. So I want you guys to show up with some pencils and papers.
Yes.
So thank you again, Coach Caren. Tomorrow we'll be talking about happy, healthy habits with Robin Mizu and friends. Yes. And so we hope that you all will tune in. We're going to be here in the same time slot, same station, and we look forward to seeing you and talking with you and sharing with you. Yes. And again, Coach Caren, we thank you for all your expertise, and we will be looking forward to hearing from you next week. With that, I want to remind everybody it's okay to make money in
your business.
Oh my gosh. So go to the front of your own line.
Yes.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.